Yeah.
Let's make love or make some out of blankets. Let's skin in my mouth or make some friction somehow. And on my hands are tied, but let's use some else. Let's make love or make some out of blankets. And skin in my mouth or make some friction somehow. And on my hands are tied, but let's use some.
Yeah. Let's make love or make some out
of blankets.
of skin in my
Mouth or make some
friction somehow.
And on my hands are tied,
Yeah.
let's use some else.
All right. Welcome to episode 29 of the Sunday Punch Podcast. We're coming. We're switching it up. We're doing a Friday night episode on the SPP. And I wanted to do it tonight because tomorrow night is the Masvidal Usman fight, and I didn't want this to be dated. I've already hit up my editor, Brian. He already said, let's go. I'm ready. Send me the audio when you're ready, Adam. So that's what I'm going to do. And I just wanted to start this episode off with, I know I've talked about it a million times. I know Sean's talked about it a million times. But if you haven't yet, you should start a podcast, even if you don't put it out. You don't want to put it out like me. You don't want to be sitting here in your sunglasses, smoking a Juul, drinking a banquet beer, a Coors Light, the banquet beer. But this podcast has improved my public speaking tremendously. This podcast has made my confidence level go sky high when I'm talking in a room full of people. I had a giant presentation this week, and I went in, and I'm telling you, normally old Adam would have been sweating through his shirt, but I went in. It was a giant conference room. There's about 25, 30 people. It looked like we were deciding the new NFL rules. There was microphones. There was a giant monitor. I'm talking NFL draft monitor up on the wall. And I had to lead a 62-slide presentation explaining what we had just done in quarter three, what we will do in fiscal year 22, to people that are scary, okay? The partner of my ad agency was sitting front and center. Didn't matter. This podcast, I went up there. It was easy money. 62 straight slides. Perfectly calm, answering questions, talking like a normal human being, no sweat, no nerves. And I think also what's helped me is reading, and I've mentioned this a billion times, I'm just reading a new chapter of 48 Laws of Power every day. I finished the book. The book's finished. But every day I read a new chapter of 48 Laws of Power, because I walked in that room and I start thinking about history. I start thinking about if this was back in the day and we were in war times and we had weapons, I would cut these motherfuckers' head off with a sword, an ancient sword. Everyone likes to say, look at the people in the audience like they have their underwear on. It'll make you feel less nervous. No. Think about yourself in human history. Think about the battlefield. Think about putting on the armor. And you walk into that room and you look at these people. I was just picturing conquering. If we were in battle, all of their heads would be gone. Just like Conor McGregor said, if this was a different time, I would ride horseback into your favela and kill anyone not fit to work. That's the attitude you need. And then you add in the practice of this podcast, it's over. So my advice is start a podcast. You don't have to put it out. Just start practicing talking to yourself. You think this shit's easy? You think it's easy sitting in your room talking to yourself? You try it. Bet you can't go 10 minutes. Fuck that. I bet you can't go 5 minutes. When you start going an hour by yourself, a business meeting, who gives a fuck? You're a doctor, go into a room talking to a family, no one cares. You walk in with confidence, you think about battle, you think about history. Back in the day, you would have had to make a decision, kill or be killed. Are you ready? Because I am. And you have to get to you have to do some dark meditation to get to that place. To get to the place where you think, I am 500 years previous to this. I would be willing to kill. If you can get to that level, what the hell is a business meeting? It's nothing. You're just going in and telling people what you're going to do, and they're going to have to listen. You think Masvidal, you think Usman is going into the ring not willing to die? They're willing to die in the ring. They're willing to kill in the ring. So is Conor McGregor, so is all of these UFC fighters. If you're not willing to do that, the problem with us as fans, we project normal traits on these UFC fighters. These guys are the same dudes who would have been gladiators back in the day. They would have been going out into the Coliseum willing to die. And they would have been slaves at the time. That's the DNA that got passed down to Masvidal. That's the DNA that got passed down to Usman. And I cannot wait for that fight tomorrow. And I saw Masvidal get weighed in. My God. That guy is Brad Pitt Fight Club. Now, let me take a sip of beer as I talk about him being so ripped. I'm going to drink beer and then smoke. I might have to put a couple units on Masvidal. I watched that last fight with them. I mean, Usman basically just tip-tap-toed with him. He did a couple foot stomps. Masvidal looks motivated. Maybe I'm getting on the hype train. I mean, I don't want to go against Usman. Usman is world-class. Look, his trash talk sucks. He sounds like a guy who's not comfortable with trash talk and like rehearsed the lines instead of it looking natural. So he's kind of a nerd. If I'm being honest, Kamaru Usman is kind of a nerd. Like, he's a big, yoked guy. That being said, he's kind of a nerd. I mean, you can tell, like, he's not used to the trash talk. And this is a guy willing to murder you. It's more of a job to him, I think. For Masvidal, it's fun. That guy loves fighting. I mean, like, probably gets up in the morning and is like, why am I not fighting already? Head pops off the pillow. Why am I not headbutting? So I might have to put a couple units on Masvidal for tomorrow night. That's really the only fight that I care about. Look, I don't want to disrespect their other fighters, but there's some cards that are dope, and there's some cards that are just let's lead up to the main fight, right? I mean, we're lucky to get a good card. UFC does a good job of that, like putting a lot of good people on the same card. Remember back in the day with Tyson? Tyson, who knows who's before him? And then he gets in the ring and he'd knock someone out in 5 seconds. That was the whole fight. You'd wait for 5 seconds and you'd be like, wow, what an exhilarating feeling that was. Watching a man go 5 seconds before he absolutely destroyed someone. So, to be honest, I was super young at the time. But I was alive when Tyson was fighting. And I remember going to a party when I was a kid when he fought Holyfield. Now, I saw Tyson from Holyfield on, so that was a little bit, bad Tyson. But just seeing that was way better than what we have today. I mean, look at Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury can't get the fight on the cards, right? Now, that being said, Tyson Fury's going to fight Anthony Joshua. It's going to be dope. But there should have been the three-peat of Tyson Fury. They can't get fights done. And then all the other guys, Terrence Crawford won't fight anyone. He's a great boxer. They can't get the fights. The UFC gets the fights done, and you watch them, and they're on to the next one. Boxing should be like that. Instead, the only one getting fights done is Jake Paul. That's the current generation's heyday of boxing is Jake Paul. That shows you how far boxing has dropped. I thought it was back when Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they did the first fight, and then they did the second. I thought it was back. And then Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz, but then he came back and beat him. I was like, okay, we got some heavyweight monsters here. But of course, it's boxing. Al Heyman can't get shit done. You gotta fight a shit ton to keep people interested. Jake Paul's pulling more numbers than boxing. Normal, everyday, professional boxers can't pull Jake Paul numbers. And no disrespect to Jake Paul, because to be honest, I hate to say it, because I think he's like the kid at the frat house that everyone hates, but he was a legacy, so he got in. Jake Paul knows what he's doing in that ring, man. I mean, that guy knows boxing. That guy can box. I've been watching boxing long enough to see someone box and say, he knows what he's doing. Sorry, I had to get a quick sipper on the old banquet beer. I enjoy Coors. This is not sponsored. I enjoy Coors. No, I'm just going to do this on my own volition. I enjoy a good Coors because it's the banquet beer. I did get... someone else reached out to me. We're at close to 1,600 followers. And I'm in advertising, so I reach out to people with 1,500 or more followers because it's called a micro-influencer. And the thinking is that the people with 100,000 followers, most of them are fake. Where the people, if you can gather a shit ton of micro-influencers, all of their followers are super engaged. So a lot of these consumer product companies are collecting micro-influencers, thinking, okay, these are people with 1,600 loyal followers, and we're going to go to them, collect a bunch of them, and the return of 15 micro-influencers is going to be worth more than the return of someone with 15,000 fake followers, right? That's the thought. Someone came to me with another sponsorship, but this one was for one of those manscaping things. I told him, fuck off. I'm not in this for the money. At all. No one understands that. I'm in this for me. I'm in this for the pod. Like I just recommended in the first part of this. I'm in this for me. I do this for, it helps me in business. It helps me kind of talk things out here. I enjoy doing it. It's a good hobby. As soon as I start promoting shit, then I lose the love. I'm not going to do it, okay? So I'll burn money. I've said that on multiple podcasts. Everyone cares about money. You know what the great thing about me is? I got a convertible basically a one-bedroom apartment. It's a convertible. That's all I need. I need a bed, some nice art, guitar on the wall, overlooking some water. Right on the park, I can go down, read a book, have a nice mimosa in the park. That's all I need. I don't need much more. I don't need a crazy car. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't need to do anything else. It's all perfect for my situation. Everybody else wants money. I could give a fuck about money. Again, I got in on Ethereum. You'd be sick if you saw my Coinbase account. You'd be sick to your stomach. I'm not cashing out because it means nothing to me. And when I do cash out, I'm going to do something stupid with it or I'm going to burn it. I don't care. Everyone chases money for what? I chase money to just take chicks on dates. That's it. I don't need money for school or future college for my kid or a car payment. I walk to work every day. I don't need insurance for the car and gas for the car. Everybody else needs all this money. You know, it's all about that Joker mentality. When he burns the pile of money, I always relate to these guys. I relate to the Joker. I relate to Thanos. You know why? Because they're committed. They're committed to something important. Everybody else does something for a buck. Everyone does that. Be better. Be better. Okay? I don't even know where I was going with this. I got on the money thing, and I always get really passionate about that because I'm tired of explaining it to people. Oh, what are you doing in the podcast? Are you going to get sponsorships? No, I don't want any. Oh, do you want to be bought out? No, not really. Well, what's the point? To gather a cult. What do you want me to say? I want people to drink the potion. How's that? How's that sound? Nothing. I want nothing. I could have 100,000 followers. They could say, I'll buy you out for $1 million. I'd say, fuck you. You know why? Because I'm going to have to then say your business on the podcast. I'm going to have to be sponsored by Barstool. I could give a fuck. I'll never sell. I'll never accept a sponsorship. So there's that, right? Anyway, I'm done talking about this. I'm about to watch the Nets versus the Celtics. And now we're talking basketball. Chicago Bulls. Nice win versus the Charlotte Hornets last night, Bulls. But I'm not really that excited about them. I'm more excited about the Cubs went to extra innings last night. My boy Jay Hay, who I famously have said in the past, I've never seen hit a ball in a live game. I'm not much of a Cubs fan. Well, no, I'm a huge Cubs fan, but I'm not much of a regular season baseball fan. I can't watch every game. I don't know who's in the rotation. I get excited when we're in October. Yeah, for sure. But for everybody else, for every game out, it's I can't watch 160, 260. I don't even know how many games. It's too much. But I did watch last night versus the Nets. Nets. I'm watching the Nets right now. Sorry. Watching the Nets Celtics game about to start. I watched them play last night versus the Mets. Went to extra innings, and my boy Jay Hay, who previously I've never seen hit a ball, and that's because I don't watch many Cubs games, but he, in extra innings, knocked one in, game-winning run, 7th of his career. So, obviously, I need to watch more Jay Hay. He's had 6 other game-ending hits. Great win, because in extra innings, I believe it was the top of the 10th, the Cubs had loaded the bases with 1 out, and we got a double play, and that was huge. That was really huge. And then that's when Jay Hay did his thing. I would also like to say one more thing about the Cubs and baseball. The instant replay has gotten out of hand. Chris Bryant takes off versus the Mets, trying to steal second. He does. He steals second. But they call him out because on instant replay, for I guess like a millionth of a second, he comes off the base. It's like, come on, brother. That's not what this is about. He got there safe. Like, if we're going to get like the CSI team out here to like figure out if he was a millionth of a second off the base, it's like, baseball's boring enough. Now you're trying to like eliminate stolen bases. Baseball doesn't get it. Baseball doesn't get it at all, because they're losing fans in droves. They can't connect with young fans. And now they're trying to slow down the game more with replay and take away exciting plays. I mean, figure it out. I don't know how you fix baseball. I'm not going to come up with any solutions right now. I'm going to just drink my Coors Banquet beer. But then the Cubs had a 1:30 start today and beat Milwaukee Brewers 15-2. Didn't watch a single inning, didn't watch a single pitch, but maybe my boy Justin Pickett, who has joined the cast as our Cubs correspondent, maybe he's a little off on these Cubs. It is always dangerous to judge a team after like 12, 15 games. So, hopefully the Cubs are getting a rhythm. I'll tell you what, Kimbrel looked good versus the Mets. I don't know what he's been doing the rest of the year. That was the Mets game last night was the first Cubs game I've watched all year. I watched them play the Pirates, but I was drinking and talking the entire time, so that doesn't count. I like to engage. I like to put the phone away. Although I'll tell you what, if there's ever a sport that is geared towards getting distracted by a cell phone, it is baseball. The guy's putting his gloves on. He's readjusting his gloves for the 15th time at this at bat. I mean, that's like a perfect moment to look at your phone, right? So, I'm going to start watching a little bit more Cubs games because it looks like they're winning now. I think they're on a 3-game winning streak. And I would love for the Cubs to be good. That's why I moved to Chicago, by the way. It'd be great if they were good. It'd be great if I could go to a game. Not allowed. Need to get my vaccine. Which I guess are opening up now. I'm sorry. I'm watching this game right now. Marcus Smart, I mean, what is his value? I mean, Marcus Smart, I've watched him literally clank 2 in a row, 3 balls. I mean, not even close. Is he still getting in the rhythm? I know he's hurt for a little bit. What was I talking about? Yeah, I'd like to go to a Cubs game, but, Chicago and COVID, so... I did get an alert that all of the appointments are open for the vaccine. So if you are interested, sign up, do it. None of my doctor friends could hook me up. I was expecting to get the early dosage, the one. I know I was expecting them to risk their entire career to steal a dosage for me. I don't think that's out of this world to request that. Anybody else? I think that was pretty logical of me to think that. And then the Bulls won versus the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know what that means. They won by 20 points, so I don't know. They didn't have ball, so who knows? Miles Bridges had Miles Bridges on the Charlotte Hornets always has an insane dunk in every third game. And he had one versus the Bulls. I enjoy a good dunk, I'm not going to lie. Oh, DeAndre Jordan's back for the Nets. Oh, this is what I want to talk about. The Nets. Everyone is guaranteeing the Brooklyn Nets to win, but I don't know, dude. Kevin Durant, he might be in full downslide. I hate to say it because I love watching the guy play. Hate watching him tweet, but love watching him play. And he just seems to be always getting injured now. And things don't reverse course when that's the case. I saw it with Derrick Rose. I saw it with Brandon Roy. You start getting these injuries, right? And it's just who you become. He's always been a long, lanky string bean anyway. So it always looks like he's about to break his kneecap in half or break his leg via Paul George style. So if he can't play, everything's wide open then. To be honest, everyone keeps putting down the Lakers. Lakers are going to win it again. If LeBron comes back and AD is healthy, right? That's who's got to win. I've only been watching the Bulls, so I don't know if anybody else has a chance. I mean, you always got Milwaukee. You always got the Sixers. Joel Embiid almost hit a freaking full court shot to tie the game the other night off my favorite alien player, Chris Paul. Missed the free throw out of nowhere. That would have been a dope tie to go to overtime, but they don't even have the records here. How am I supposed to watch this game? I was trying to see what Boston... Oh, I have my phone right here. Let me look this up. I'm going to look up the rankings for each of the... I've only been watching the Bulls lose over and over again. Sorry. NBA rankings. I still like Phoenix, by the way. NBA standings. Still love Phoenix. Yeah, Eastern Conference, we got the 76ers and the Nets neck and neck, 1 and 2. So this is actually a big game for... Oh, yeah. Then you got the Bucks and the Knicks. The freaking Knicks, dude. And the Bulls heading in at the 11 seed, trying to get that 10 seed play in versus the... Man, freaking Wizards. I watched a lot of... I tuned into the Wizards Golden State game because that's when Steph Curry was on his tear. If Steph Curry was LeBron James's size, he would be the best basketball player of all time. The shots that I've been watching a lot of Steph Curry highlights. He had a shit game versus the Wizards, by the way. It was my curse. It was the Adam curse of tuning into Steph Curry. But before that, I think he had hit, I don't even know. I don't know the stat. Let's just put it, let's over exaggerate it, right? He had 50 games where he scored over 30 points. And the shots that he was making, at a certain point, you just become desensitized to it. And it's not fair, right? Steph Curry was making shots that, like, you practice by yourself on a court when no one's looking, and you're like, wouldn't it be fun if I just, like, try to do a fadeaway from half court? I'm going to let you think about that while I hit my jewel. Those are the kind of shots, right? I've done it before. You know, I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, all right, we're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm just going to launch a shot, a hook shot from like half court and see if it goes in and then pretend I just won the game. Steph Curry was making that like 50% of the time in all of these games. He was doing, like, they would have to guard him. There's a couple games where they would pick him up 4 feet from the half court line. I mean, Steph Curry, and there's like this hate now accumulating for Steph Curry. How the fuck can you hate that guy? Steph Curry is like the coolest dude ever and amazing at basketball. How can you hate Steph Curry? He was drafted by the Warriors. He didn't do any Kevin Durant, LeBron James snake shit and go to another team. He stayed with the Warriors and he hits half-court shots like it's a layup. Steph Curry is the fucking man. He might be my favorite player. Definitely ain't any of the Chicago Bulls right now. Outside of P-Trick. You know who I'm talking about. P-Trick, the next Kawhi Leonard. Patrick Williams, hello. I think he's the next Kawhi Leonard. Here we go. The old Adam overstatement. But he's only 19, and he's just got this, like, butter smooth flow that I love. Plays good D. Versatile. Can hit a 3. Let that guy develop a move or two. You never know. But Steph Curry's been just, a magician. I'm going to watch their game. They're playing tonight versus... I didn't even go through the West standings. Let's go to the West real quick. Just see what we got here. Jazz. Ugh. I guess, right? I guess you got to say, yeah. I mean, they're 44-15. Still like the Suns at 42-17. They're Suns are 7-3 in their last 10. Clippers are 9-1 in their last 10. 42-19. Speaking of Kawhi. And then you got the Lakers. Well, you got the Nuggets, but Jamal Murray's out. And then you got the Lakers at 5th. Okay. And then you got the Warriors with the play-in game versus the Spurs. That'll be... the Warriors got to make the playoffs, right? They're not going to do anything, but I just want to watch more of Steph Curry. And I want the world to watch more of Steph Curry, is really the main point. So... I still like the Suns. I'm going with the Suns to win the whole thing. I know, I'm insane. I get it. I'm crazy. You drive me crazy. I know I will. Oh, Patrick just texted me that he's at Pinched. Should I go? Should I stop this podcast immediately? Kate and I are at Pinched. I think I want to go to this. Well, let me give him a call. Let me give him a live call on the podcast here. This is what everybody wanted, me talking on the phone. I'll explain that to him real quick. Patrick, it's Adam. Why did you answer it like, hello, this is Patrick Green? Hello, this is Patrick Green. What's the dealio?
Well, we're halfway through dinner. Just you can still come. We're just hanging out.
Just chilling. Are you gonna be there for a little bit or no?
How long are we gonna be here, okay? We can be here as long as we need to be.
Well, it's up to you guys. I'm in the middle of a podcast right now.
Like making the podcast?
Yeah, I'm literally on it right now.
And this phone call is the podcast?
No one can hear you. They can only hear my voice.
Okay. Well, how long are you gonna be?
I could stop it right now. I'm at 36 minutes.
Oh, that's a long podcast. People listen to you for longer than 35 minutes.
Some people do listen to me for more than 35 minutes. Mostly my mom.
We're gonna be here probably for at least another hour, like just ourselves. If
Yeah.
we have any friends that want to join us, we'll be here as long as we need to be.
How's the temp outside?
It's, according to Alexa, it's gonna get to like the high 40s by the low. Yeah, no, they just gave us blankets and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're hunkering down, ready for the chill.
All right, I'm gonna walk over then. I'll grab one glass of wine with you.
Sounds great. All right, can't wait.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
Bye bye. All right, party people. Well, I just got a phone call and I kind of want to go, so I'm gonna end this cast at the old 36-minute mark. No, fuck it. Let's go another like couple 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then I'll end it. But I don't even know what I was just talking about. I'm sure everyone really enjoyed me, and you couldn't tell what he was saying on the conversation, so I'm sure you enjoyed me responding on a phone call in the middle of a podcast. It's what you get with the SPP, okay? But you know what? I don't know if Sean is ever going to be back. We're going this is a month without Sean Khan on the podcast, and I think I just got to start getting prepared for Sean just not being on the cast, right? So I'm going to start scheduling people to come to my place. I'm going to start scheduling to go to other people's places. I'm going to start scheduling some phone calls in, kind of like what we did for Doggy Juice, and have him record. But I got to stop waiting for Sean, because as much as I love Sean, you just can't rely on anything. So, and it is what it is, right? I wish I could, but I can't. So people are who they are, and I know a lot of people who are kind of on this along the same lines as you can't rely on them, right? So that's where I'm going to leave that. I hope that we'll be back next weekend with Sean. I know Fred's coming into town, but again, no clue. But if not, I will always, and I mean always, be there for the Sunday Punch podcast. So thank you for tuning in. A shorter episode today, only 40 minutes. And what song do we want to go out with today? I didn't really prepare for this. I didn't even know I was going to do a podcast tonight, dude. Had no notes. Let's go out on... fuck it. Let's do Kai Swift again. Or no, Kai Swift. Kai Straw again. And we'll do a song called Don't Tread on Me, Bro. Okay? Really good. Kai Straw is on Spotify. 195,000 monthly listeners. How did I talk to this guy? Yeah, so it's called Don't Tread on Me. Really dope song. I'm gonna get a new artist next time. Fuck it. I might do a cast tomorrow too. This was a little short, and I ain't got, hey, Mac Miller style, I ain't got shit to do tomorrow. Tomorrow we up all night. Thank you for tuning in. SPP episode 29. This was fun. Thank you.
walk around needy for love, giving it up like a thief in the cup. Try to hide it like weed in the trunk. I'm living it up, don't judge me, play. I'm an independent chick on my own hype. I'm getting presidents like a full mate. And I don't get it why you can't hit the city naked. I'm getting Benjamin shit, I'm a ditty record. But underneath she was broke, breaking down when they leave her alone. She had a need in her bones, feeling empty in her soul. She would look up to the moon and cry. She would beg for a better life. And the moon talked back, said I see a lot of courage. You right there, it said you're strong. And she said I can't do this alone. And I gazed in her soul and it said, I've been watching you, baby. I've been watching you. I've seen you fall, seen you catch the blue. And I know you're down, and I know you're out. And baby, I can see how you feel like drowning. But baby, gotta get up. Oh, you gotta get up. Oh, you gotta get up. I said you gotta get up. I said you gotta get up. I said you gotta get up. Said you gotta get up. Said you gotta get up. You gotta get up off your knees real late. I know you're praying up to me near day, saying things like, oh, appreciate. But no, I don't think you need me because baby you are a light bulb in a dark, dark world. You're like a match in the black of a cab. To attack is the flash from a magnum. Tell them don't tread on me. Tell them to get off, baby, be free. That ain't something they can take from you neither. Your freedom isn't waiting for your cotton to eat. I said, baby, you are a light bulb in a dark world. You're like the glow when the power's blown through a window from the moon. And I see it cause I've been watching you, baby. I've been watching you. I've seen you fall, seen you catch the blue. And I know you're down, and I know you're out. And baby, I can see how you feel like drowning. But baby, gotta get up. Oh, you gotta get up. Oh, you gotta get up. I said you gotta get up. I said you gotta get up. Oh, you gotta get up, baby. I said you gotta get up. 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 First you gotta feel it in your soul. Then you feel it bubble up in an emotion. Then you feel it down low, real low in the floor like. And it's a rhythm, fo-fo, can you feel it? Second gotta show when you move. You're walking to a drum to win your own dance. Hear the slapping of the snare and them hi-hat flares and a trumpet all singing that you're home then. You tell them, nah, don't tread on me. 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 You tell them, nah, don't tread on me. 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 You tell them, nah.